You must first understand that solitude is not loneliness. There is a great difference between being alone and being lonely. The person who has learned to be happy alone has gained control over one of life's most powerful dynamics, self-sufficiency. Being happy alone means discovering the ability to thrive in your own company, to find fulfillment not in the noise of the world, but in the silence of your own presence. Many people spend their lives avoiding silence. They fear it because it confronts them with themselves. Yet, it is precisely in that silence that strength is built, clarity is found, and true peace emerges. If you cannot enjoy your own company, then how can anyone else? Happiness alone is a skill. It is forged by effort, discipline, and self-respect. Letting go is essential in this journey. Letting go of the people who do not respect your time, your heart, or your boundaries. Letting go of what you cannot control. Letting go of past failures, past attachments, and the belief that your worth is dependent on someone else's approval. Many are terrified of losing others because they haven't yet found themselves. But when you know who you are, what you value, what you're building, then letting go becomes a courageous act, not a tragic one. When you live with intention, solitude becomes sanctuary. It's not about isolating yourself from the world, it's about being centered in it. People think that being alone means you're unloved, unwanted, or broken. But that's the narrative sold by those who are addicted to validation. Learn to validate yourself. Celebrate your progress even if no one sees it. Work on yourself in silence and let your results speak volumes. The most powerful growth often happens when no one is watching. You build strength not when everyone supports you, but when you support yourself through pain, confusion, and fear. The world constantly tells you to chase something: money, people, titles, trends. But it rarely teaches you to chase understanding. Happiness begins when you stop chasing and start aligning. Align with your values, your purpose, and your peace. That alignment requires you to say no to distractions, to set boundaries, and to be okay with walking alone when the crowd walks the other way. There's an unmatched beauty in walking your path, even if no one claps for you, even if no one follows. You weren't made to live a copy-paste life. You were made to explore your own depth. When you sit alone in reflection, you meet yourself. You confront your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, and your dreams. This is where transformation begins. Many avoid this because it's uncomfortable. Growth always is. It asks you to drop the mask, to let go of old identities, to release the need for approval. But what you gain is authenticity. And authenticity is happiness. You cannot be truly happy living a lie. Pretending to be someone you're not just to fit in or keep someone around, that is a silent betrayal of self. Let go of what weighs you down. Let go of people who only love the version of you that benefits them. Let go of environments that drain you, habits that limit you, and voices that confuse you. Fill the silence with your own truth. Discover what matters to you, not what you're told should matter. Alone doesn't mean absence. It means presence, presence with yourself, your thoughts, your potential. This is where power grows. You learn to enjoy the simple things: a walk, a sunset, a moment of peace. These are not trivial. They are sacred. Life isn't always made of grand milestones. It's made of small moments handled with gratitude. Happiness alone means being content in the now, even as you strive for more. It's about no longer needing noise to feel alive. You'll find that in silence, your best ideas arrive. Your truest self speaks. Your deepest wounds begin to heal. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to protect your energy. You care enough to stop holding on to what's already gone. You care enough to stop explaining yourself to those who choose not to understand you. The right people won't need explanations. And the wrong people won't understand them anyway. Letting go is freedom. And from freedom comes peace. And from peace comes happiness. Some of the happiest people are not those who have the most, but those who need the least. They are content with themselves. They don't wait for others to make them feel worthy. They own their worth. They build their days around what they love. And they're okay if that path is misunderstood. You don't need permission to grow. You don't need applause to evolve. Be alone, be still, and observe. Observe your patterns, your triggers, your thoughts. That awareness will guide you more than any external advice. You will know what you need, what you value, and what you can live without. To be happy alone, you must redefine what fulfillment means to you. You must move beyond the superficial metrics of success, likes, followers, constant praise, and ground yourself in deeper values. The people who can sit alone and feel complete are the ones who are no longer slaves to comparison. They have stopped measuring their lives against others. They've chosen depth over appearance, growth over popularity, and truth over comfort. This choice isn't easy, but it is liberating. Because when you stop needing others to fill your emptiness, you begin to fill it with strength, wisdom, and authenticity. Letting go is not passive. It is a deliberate, conscious act. It takes effort to walk away from toxic relationships, from environments that corrupt your peace, and from roles that no longer fit your soul. But each time you choose your well-being over chaos, you reclaim your life. You don't heal by staying where the hurt happened. You heal by creating distance. Space to breathe, to reflect, to grow. People will not always understand your silence. That's okay. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to live in alignment with your core values, even if that path is quiet, even if it's lonely. Happiness alone is not about isolation, it's about clarity. When the noise fades, you begin to see what truly matters. You start to differentiate between what's urgent and what's important. You stop running from moment to moment, and instead, you root yourself in purpose. It's in this stillness that you find power. You realize that your emotions are not your enemies, they are messengers. Loneliness isn't a curse. It's an invitation. An invitation to come home to yourself. To rebuild from the inside out. And to find joy not in what surrounds you, but in what lives within you. Some will try to convince you that your worth is tied to your relationships or your social visibility. But the truth is, the person who is strong alone is the person who cannot be controlled. They're not manipulated by fear of abandonment or rejection. They've made peace with solitude. They know that being alone isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of inner stability. And from that place, all healthy relationships are built. When you enter relationships not out of need, but from abundance, you elevate your standards. You stop tolerating disrespect. You don't settle for temporary comfort that costs long-term peace. Letting go doesn't always mean goodbye. Sometimes it means releasing the expectation, the illusion, the need for closure. Not everything needs to be fixed. Not everyone needs to be in your future. You're allowed to outgrow people. You're allowed to change direction. The version of you that tolerated disrespect is no longer in charge. You've evolved. You've learned. And now, you walk differently. Not arrogantly, but with quiet confidence. With an inner calm that doesn't shout, but speaks through your actions. That's happiness. When you no longer perform for others, when your peace isn't on loan, when your joy doesn't require external validation. The most important relationship you'll ever have is with yourself. It sets the tone for every other connection. If you treat yourself with kindness, others will learn to do the same. If you protect your peace, others will either honor that or remove themselves. Either way, you win. But you can only demand what you embody. If you want loyalty, be loyal to yourself. If you want respect, respect your own boundaries. If you want love, love yourself enough to walk away from anything that makes you shrink. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It means you've stopped arguing with reality. You've accepted what is, and now you're focused on what can be. Solitude becomes power when you use it for self-discovery. Not to escape the world, but to understand how you want to re-enter it. Use this time to sharpen your mind, to heal your wounds, to clarify your vision, to build habits that serve your higher self. You don't need to be perfect. But you do need to be honest. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that's no longer serving me? What pain am I avoiding by staying busy? What would change if I stopped running from silence and started listening to it instead? When you start to enjoy your own company, you raise your frequency. You begin to attract people who are whole, not people looking to be completed. And you stop giving access to those who drain you. You stop being available for things that don't align. This is not selfish. It's self-respect. And from that foundation, true happiness grows. Because happiness isn't found in a perfect partner, a dream job, or a future event. It's found in how you speak to yourself daily, how you care for your mind, and how committed you are to living in truth. There's beauty in simplicity. You don't need more to be happy. You need less noise, less distraction, less self-betrayal. You already have everything you need to feel fulfilled. It just takes courage to turn inward. The world will always try to pull you away from yourself. But your power lies in returning, again and again, to what grounds you. The joy of a quiet morning. The satisfaction of discipline. The dignity of choosing peace over conflict. These are the real treasures. And once you find happiness alone, no one can take it from you. Because it's not in them. It's in you.